solve the inequality here, we want to find which one is the right graph. What would be your first step, do you think? I want to know what's the first step. I see 2 here. So something with this 2, I don't want this 2. What do I have to do? You want to get this inequality greater or equal to 0. That's the first step. Okay, so the first step is to move everything to one side of the equation. Basically, I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides of the equation. So I would get 0 this side. Can somebody tell me how do you combine these two? What do I have to know to combine these two fractions? Well, somebody type LCD. So the LCD is x plus 4. So you're right. So it would be x over x plus 4 here. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply x plus 4 over x plus 4 here. So you can combine them, right? So I would get x plus 4 at the bottom of the fraction. At the top of the fraction, I get x minus, I have to distribute this here, I get minus 2 times x plus 4. So I get x minus 2x, and then we give me minus 8. Okay. So at the top of the fraction, I would get minus x minus 8 over x plus 4. So I am having this whole expression greater or equal to 0, not 2. Okay, so I get minus x minus 8 over x plus 4 greater or equal to 0 now. So if I look at the top bottom of the fraction, at the top of the fraction, if I let that be equal to 0, then I can find minus x equal to, if I add 8 to both sides of the equation, I get minus 8. So if x equal to minus 8, then the top of the fraction goes to 0. And at the bottom of the fraction, I cannot have 0, but I know I can find if x equal to minus 4. So these would be my zeros. These would be the points that between these roots or outside these roots would be the solution to this inequality. So let's locate minus 4 and minus 8. So in this case, we have minus 4 and minus. It looks like to me that the possibility for the correct answer would be either C or D, cannot be B, cannot be A. Does that make sense so far? So the solution would be either between these roots, right, like that, or outside these roots. And it's very simple to see which one is the right solution. Can somebody tell me what would be the check to see if the other solution would be between these two roots or outside these roots? Yeah, we're going to talk about what happens to this point here and why this cannot be a solution, because at the bottom of the fraction. But first we need to know what would be the test. Anybody remember the test? We did this kind of problem in different sessions called a test point, right? Okay, the test point would be any point between or outside these roots would work. So let me go ahead and pick a point between these roots, whether that's a solution or not. Okay, so let's pick a point, any point you like. Let's pick, let's say, minus 6. Okay, let's test minus 6 whether minus 6 is a solution or not. Okay, I'm going to pick this point here. X is equal to minus 6. So all I have to do is to see whether this minus 6 would cause this inequality here becomes positive or negative, this inequality here. So everywhere I see x, I'm going to substitute minus 6 here. can put right here next to it. So it would be minus 6, and then right, the rest of the wall would be minus 8 over. Then here I have again minus 6. Minus 6 here. So we want to know this one is whether it's greater or less than 0. So what do we get at the top of the fraction here? Positive or negative? We get 6 minus 8. You actually get minus 2. So you get negative number at the top. And at the bottom, you get minus 6 plus 4. Give you minus 2. And minus 2 over minus 2 is equal to positive. Is that good? Yeah, that's exactly what we want. We want the product of this be positive. We want it to be greater than 0. So minus 6 is a good answer. That's one of the solution. Checks out. Since that checks out, that means the solution must be between these roots. So the C must be the solution. Not if you pick 0, for instance, 0 should not make sense. If I put 0 here, I get 0 at the top of the fraction. I get minus 8, and I get plus 4. So you get minus. You don't get greater than 0. You get less than 0. So 0 is not a solution. Cannot be a solution. So the solution must be between these roots. Now, as you notice here, we're using a bracket on the left-hand side. We include the negative 8. So negative 8 is at the top of the fraction. We cannot include minus 4 as one of the solution because, as you see here, this is at the bottom of the fraction. So we want to make a little note here that x plus 4 cannot be equal to 0. In other words, x cannot be equal to minus 4. So this end point, that's why we use it in parentheses here, is not included. So the solution to this would be C.